set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
Hello, Miami. Thank you so much for watching 305 Sports Now. I am your host, Will, and thank you so very much to all of you that participated and viewed and are continuing to view last night's episode with Coach Manny Matsakis and, of course, the host of Locked On Canes, Alex Dono. All right, Alex Dono, that was a fun episode to do. A lot of great information and a great conversation as well about your Miami Hurricanes. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you could tell, I'm a little close to 2,000, so I'm going to ask all of you right now to please like, share, and subscribe to get me to 2,000. So let's get it done. Let's get 2,000 hopefully before Thanksgiving. That'd be great if that could be possible. So once again, thank you to Alex Dono and Manny Matsakis for coming on again, and look forward to having them on in the very near future. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the topic at hand. It has been a very, very wild college football season as unranked teams seem to be beating ranked teams. It's not just the Miami Hurricanes that are going through it. It's a lot of other teams as well, as we just heard this past Friday evening. Louisville falls to unranked Clemson, and we've had I think it was unranked UCLA beat a ranked Penn State team at the time, and Iowa State also lost as well, being a ranked opponent to an unranked opponent. So it's been a crazy football season. But hey, that's what you love college football, and that's what I'm going to have this conversation with you, because now portal season hasn't even started, and now we're hearing crazy conversations as well. And the funny part is not even from the college football people. It's actually from the NFL guys. Todd McShay released or has an idea that if LaNorris Sellers, since LaNorris Sellers is not having the season that he had last season, we're going to talk about that in about a couple of minutes, that he may want to entertain the transfer portal, stay for another year, and also try to improve his draft stock, as his draft stock has dropped just a tad bit because the season hasn't been going so well. But the team he picked as a potential landing spot for LaNorris, if he decides to go to the portal, are your Miami Hurricanes. Now, this is quite interesting because early on the season, from what I heard, LaNorris's father was like, we're Gamecocks. He's not going anywhere. He is from South Carolina as well, so it does make sense. Probably a big fan of the team. But money talks, and things change. If you have a right to change your mind. I'm not talking about NIL money, though. I'm talking about first round money, because the higher you are in the NFL draft, the more money you're likely to make for your team. So I just want to go over a few things of what I'm talking about as well. I'm just looking through my notes here, and there's been a lot of comparisons to LaNorris Sellers to Anthony Richardson, the former Florida Gator quarterback. And I'll be honest with you, I know that the size stuff like that play a role, but I see him more as a Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson, Drake May type, just because he's 6'3", he's 240 pounds, he's really quick too. He runs a 4.62 40-yard dash as well. Trying to get my notes to move forward. Here we go. All right, and he's a dual threat quarterback, very physical, could run really fast as well. It has great escapability, to say the least. The only thing that a lot of people don't like is that he's a risk for a turnover, which is what we've seen this past season, and he holds on to the ball a little bit too much, which is a lot of scouts have said he processes the field a little slower. Average rate, I believe, for releasing the football out of his hand is 3.3 seconds, so that's a little bit of time being released. Well, some circles is 2.6, but I've also read 3.3 as well. So, like I said, very highly intelligent, 4.95 GPA coming out of high school. He's a soccer player as well, excels as a dual sport athlete. So, phenomenal young man, a very good worker. He's willing to learn. He's very coachable, as we said. So, I do think that if he was to go to the portal, he can actually benefit from it. I think he have another year of college football and be able to fix up his mistakes, etc. Okay, so just moving on a little bit, I want to compare the 2024 season with the 2025 season. Okay, like I said, LaNorris has a very strong arm. He's very elusive. One of the things that is a knock on him as well is that his accuracy isn't there. So ball placement is considered an issue. But he played 12 games in 2024. He had 2,534 yards passing. His completion percentage was 65.6. He had 18 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 8.5 yards per pass, and a passer rating average of 151.9. Now in 2025, it's been an issue. 9 games played so far, 1,536 yards, 61.7%. That's 4 points down from 65.6 that he had last season. 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He had 7 all of last season. In 9 games so far, he has 5 picks. His yards per attempt is almost a point lower as last season. Again, 8.5. This season, 8.6. And his QB rating is at 132 compared to 151 last season. Last season, he had 7 rushing touchdowns. This year, he has 3. Last year, his total offense was 3,208 yards, 267.3 yards per game. And in this season, a little under 1,700 yards. It's dropped considerably, 188.2 yards per game. These are all-purpose yards, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Last season, finished with a record of 9-3. South Carolina was a pleasant surprise. This season, 3-6. So it's been a problem this season. It really has been a big problem this season, right? As well. As I mentioned, one of the things is that he holds on to the ball a little bit too long. He's had some throws that were considered turnover worthy. That's what some of the scouts were saying. So that's why ball placement is an issue. But he has all the tools. I mean, he has all the tools. He's a big physical guy. All right, he's a big physical guy, and I do understand a couple things. I personally think, with all the complaints we've had about this offseason, I personally think that LaNorris Sellers would benefit better in Shannon Dawson's system than maybe Carson Beck. And although a lot of Carson Beck's errors are because he's made mistakes, in terms of the way he's seen the field, i.e. the 4 turnovers against Louisville and the couple turnovers against SMU, even though you make case one of them wasn't his fault. Well, actually, both of them might not even been his fault, but nonetheless, the turnovers are the turnovers. But the bottom line is that if you look at Shannon Dawson's history, his teams have really excelled when he's OC, or at least in command of the offense, when he has a dual threat quarterback. Geno Smith, just to give you the idea, Clayton Tune over in Houston, Cam Ward last season, even though Cam Ward technically was more of a passer, he is a dual threat quarterback. Cam Ward could get you first downs with his legs and extend plays, scrambling and also running for first down. So that's the thing that I think that LaNorris Sellers would do very well in Shannon Dawson's system. Shannon Dawson could use every part of his skill to be able to make him a better quarterback. Look, say what you want to say about Coach Dawson, but Cam Ward was a 3rd-round pick projected before he came to the U. He became the first pick of the NFL draft. I'm not trying to say the same's going to happen with LaNorris Sellers if he decides to come to Miami, even if he even decides to hit the portal. That's not even coming from college football, people. But I will say that I do think that he would benefit greatly, and I do expect him to be more successful over at the U than this past season over at South Carolina. He'll have a good offensive line. The ACC schedule is not as rigorous as the SEC schedule. Let's be honest. The only thing I will say is that it will be pretty much a new offensive line, as CeCe Maui-Noah, Inez Cooper, Markel Bell, and the center as well will be James Brockermeyer will be going to the NFL. We'll probably have Jackson Cantwell at right tackle, and between possibly Ryan Rodriguez or SJ Alafaituli over at center. And so we'll see what happens with the rest of the line. A lot of the guys are coming in too, so who knows if one of the true freshmen that are in this recruiting class start next season. So we'll see. We'll see. Mara's going to play the best players, so especially in the offensive line. So we'll see what happens. So that's pretty much what I want to say as far as LaNorris Sellers goes in that capacity. As far as what I'm thinking about. So before I give you my take on what I think the whole portal situation is and about the quarterback situation as well, I want to give a special shout out to my sponsor, Fan Outfitters. Ooh, Miami. I am proud to announce that Fan Outfitters is the official sponsor of 305 Sports Now. With locations in Pembroke Pines, Davie, and Kendall, you can find the latest gear and accessories for all your favorite South Florida teams. Teams like your Miami Hurricanes, your Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Inter Miami, Miami Marlins, and many, many more. So if you ever find yourself in the Pembroke Pines area, Davie, or Kendall, please stop by Fan Outfitters, the official sponsor of 305 Sports Now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, yes, please pass by Fan Outfitters. If you're in the Davie area, Pembroke Pines area, or Kendall, please pass by Fan Outfitters, official sponsor of 305 Sports. Now, so what's my take on the whole LaNorris Sellers thing? I just want to say one thing. If Miami would have been undefeated, in control of their own destiny, and I'm doing this show, okay, or maybe I do this kind of an episode at the end of the season, and they head to college football playoffs, win the ACC, and they make a good run, or whatever the case would be. I honestly would say, just let Luke run. See what you got with Luke Nickel. Personally, I think all roads lead to Darian Coleman, but give Luke a couple of years, see what he can do, then hand the keys over to Darian Coleman and just ball. Why? You have a young receiving core, you have talented running backs as well, and a young offensive line. It'd be nice to see these guys all mature and grow together. Okay, so I understand that side of the fan base as far as like just let Luke go. It could affect recruiting in the future. But I do think that this team, one second, guys. I do think this team and this fan base and the university in general are starving for some success, are starving for relevancy, are starving for an opportunity to win a national championship. And I do think because of the course of what happened this season and the obstacles that we currently need to go through just to get into the playoffs, I say if you could find a portal quarterback that is going to be a slam dunk, that is going to fit your system correctly, and you'll be able to be successful throughout the season and not have these lulls or inconsistencies. I know you can't predict that, but I'm just saying we all felt Cam Moore was going to be a stud. I mean, he was more than we expected, but we all knew that he had it. Okay, because he had the resume. I say go for it. I say go for a quarterback. If it's LaNorris Sellers, if it's CJ Bailey, I don't think CJ Bailey honestly is going to leave NC State. They showed him a lot of love. They were on him early. I think he's doing very well there. I think he's going to show loyalty to the university. But if you want a guy that's proven, if you want a guy that can ball, a guy that you can coach up and make successful using this roster with the skill position players that you have, go for the portal guy. All right, go for the portal guy. If people want to transfer, it's college football. People transfer for less at times. So it is what it is. I don't think it'll negatively impact recruiting. I think once Miami becomes a success, if they're able to become a success through the next portal acquisition, if need be, they'll still come. But the bottom line is, though, it has to be the right guy. It has to be a guy that is a slam dunk, is going to be a success. I'm not saying Cam Ward. Cam Ward is the greatest single season quarterback this university's ever had. I'm saying single season because I don't want to put him over Gino Torretta, Vinny Testaverde, Bernie, those guys, or even Ken Dorsey that spent multiple seasons here and won a lot of games. But I'm just saying that for one season, Cam Ward was better than all of them. If you can get that guy that no matter what, the offense is going to work, go for it. This fan base, okay, this university, this city is starving for the U to come back, be relevant, and be dominant. So if that's the guy, I would say go for it. But if it's not the guy, if there's no guy there, run with your young guys. Luke Nickel was very highly recruited. Luke Nickel was a winner in high school. Okay? Luke Nickel was a gamer. And if you're not happy with what the portal looks like this offseason, let Luke take a shot. But if you got your guy, and that he's coming, and the guy can be very successful in this system, okay, and can get you to the promised land, or he's close to it, go for it. That's feelings be had. It is what it is. All right. If you guys disagree with me, that's fine. Okay. If you guys agree with me, that's great. I know the fan base is divided of those that get another guy. We need a win. And other people like, man, it's going to affect recruiting. Just go with what you have and roll with it. But we know if it's 8-4, everybody's going to be pissed. We know if it's a 9-win season even next year, people are going to be pissed. The fan base wants to win. Okay? I want to win. The coaches want to win. The university, the collective wants to win. The university president, everybody wants to win. So if it's LaNorris Sellers, and man, he has all the skills. All we need to do is work with him. The lines can be better, and so on. For him, this upcoming season, get your guy. But if not, then roll with your young guys. But I'm leaning more towards the portal. Be honest with you, I'm leaning more towards the portal. As a fan, I want to win. I want to see this team win, and I want to see this team back to prominence and relevancy. Okay. Right, ladies and gentlemen, again, if you like what you heard, that's it, straight to the point. Beat NC State tonight, guys. But if you like what you heard, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to 305 Sports Now. Have a wonderful day, guys. God bless. Go Canes. All about the you. Bye-bye.